Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Holloway's Garage. Today, we'll be working on this rusty old pontoon boat trailer. The leaf springs are broken in it, so we're going to replace the leaf springs and U-bolts in it. And that way, I could get the pontoon boat out of the water before summer gets here, since it's already the middle of March, but hey, whatever. So let's hop in this and just start cutting. I don't know if you can see that, but that spring is pretty crusty, and you can see there's like 3 or 4 leaves that are broken, and then this side actually is completely broken, and it was see, it's broken completely off, and it actually broke on me right when I was getting down to the boat ramp, so I was like 100 feet away and said, screw it, I gotta send it, get the boat off there anyway, so just send it. But what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna use a plasma cutter. I'm gonna cut all the U-bolts off. Everything on here is so rusty, it's crazy. And that's it. We'll go from there, really. There's not much to this. I'm gonna have to jack this up in a second. I'll probably just lift it up with a skid steer. That way we get the axle free, and go from there. This axle's only like 3 years old, 4 years old. It was brand new and it already looks like crap. Rusty, it's hard to get a good spot to grind it out on. Alright, so I'll just repeat the same thing for the other side there. Be quick and easy. I'm gonna just grind all this stuff off, this flake and rust. I mean, there's a crazy amount of rust on these. So we'll get those cleaned up, and then I'm just gonna cut those bolts off, the heads off of them, because they're not coming out for sure. Everything's so rusted. We'll go from there. I got this trailer for $100. and I had to put a new axle on it, new wheels. I had to move the perches a little bit to make the axle work, and then I put new the brackets. But everything's rusting on this thing, so I don't know. Get a couple more years out of it, and then salvage what's good on it and scrap the rest, I guess. But I'll get the other ones cut off. Then I'll show you after I grind it down. I'll paint it real quick, just put a coat on it, and that's it. Really, pretty simple stuff. And if you don't have a plasma cutter, my next best thing that I'll go to is just a regular old angle grinder with the cutoff wheel, because a Sawzall on this stuff is, I mean, you can use a Sawzall, but it's just, I personally like cutting these hardened U-bolts and stuff with the cutoff wheel. But yep, let's get it done. Alright, we got them all cut out, got all the bolts out. They were kind of a pain because they were seized in the sleeve of the bushing for the leaf springs. So I'm just going to scale off all this rust in a minute, and I actually have to weld this bracket back up, so I'll grind that down and weld that real quick, and we should be in good shape. And then I'll just hit her with some spray paint for now, and I mean, it's not gonna do much for it because this thing, salt water just eats this stuff up, man. It's crazy. So if I get another couple of years out of this one, then I'll be happy. The boat's a pile of crap too, so why not have a trailer to match? But I'll weld that up, and then should be good to go. Got it tucked up as tight as I could. It's kind of angled, a little funky because it's bent, but whatever. It'll serve its purpose, because this one's a slip. I'm using a slip. It's called a slip leaf spring. I don't know if you can see it. The other one broke off, but there's a U right there, basically. So it'll just sit in the bushing, and it'll slip back and forth as the angle changes on the axle, which it shouldn't really anyway, but let's just stick weld that thing up. Alright, now we can break that off of there. Then I'll spray them up, some spray paint, and we'll get the new leaf springs out and bolts and put them in. But I got it cleaned up as good as I could. Actually, the bottom of this axle is pretty bad. I'm sure next few years I'll have to replace it if I keep this thing that long. So I just knocked all the heavy rust off. What I'm going to do now, I use this stuff, it's called Cora-Seal. I've been using it for a few years now, and it works pretty good. It's like a metal primer, like a rust converter, and it also seals it, so. So you just mix it up real good, and I'll just use a rag. I mean, you spray it, I've sprayed it, I've used paint brushes before. I'm just going to use a wet rag and wipe it on. Stuff's kind of nasty to get on your hands though if you do, like I just did, because it turns black. But it'll be purple, and then it'll turn black once it's cured and hard. So here's the finish it leaves when it's dried. It actually does a pretty nice job. It smooths stuff out pretty well. I'm just gonna hit it with some It's nothing fancy. I got some implement paint, just gloss black, so I'll just slather that on there with a brush and call it a day. And we'll bolt up the leaf springs and that's it. It's all done. I'm waiting for bushings for the back here, so I just threw them in there so I can move this trailer. But looks pretty good. It's got brand new leaf springs, brand new U-bolts. My camera wasn't recording while I was doing all that, but you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. You line the pins up here, you line that pin up there, tighten it up, and you're good to go. So that's one way you can repair your boat trailer if your leaf spring's break in half like mine did. And then she should be good for another 5 years or so until the rust gets to it again. But yep, we're all done with this one and we'll move on to another project. Thanks for checking out this episode of Holloway's Garage. We just went in here quick, threw in some new leaf springs, painted the axle real quick, and that's it. So now I'll be able to pull my boat out and get all the barnacles and everything that's been, you know, setting on that thing for, I don't know, last 4 months or 5 months, longer actually. So yeah, if you like what you saw, hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And I got a ton of projects. If you saw any of my past videos, you know I just love projects. I don't know why, but you know, keeps you busy. But thanks for checking this out, and have a good one.